Good evening, everybody. I'm happy that you are here. You just heard some projections. First of all, I want to say that I'm very happy that the big disaster which was forecast that the turnout will go down dramatically did not come true. I think this is a result also of the new competition between candidates who run for the Commission President. It gives a new boost to the European elections. Otherwise, the projections of fall down could have been true. But I want to say at the beginning, yes, it was a step forward, but finally we should draw the conclusion that maybe it was not enough courageous enough that we should go perhaps for the direct election of the President of the Commission to give the voters a chance to say clearly, I am for this or for this gentleman or this and this lady who should be the President of the Commission. Because many of the voters I met said, why can't I give a direct vote to the candidate for the Commission President? Secondly, you see the projections. We have a bit other figures. But that we see what the real result is. But also this result, as well as my figures or our figures, show very clearly that there was a dramatic loss for the EPP, between 20 and 25% of votes. Yes, it seems, at least to these figures, also the figures I have for the moment, that the EPP is in lead, but with a drastic reduction of support. And that for me and for our group means that the vote of the citizen has been against the policies which were dominated by the EPP in the last years, by the majority in the Commission and for a long time the majority in the European Council. So that gives us the possibility as a group which in any way is much closer to the EPP, as closing the gap between the EPP and us, a stronger position in the next parliament. Our figures shows we won several seats in several countries, but in any way it is clear we have a stronger position as socialists and democrats in the next parliament vis-à-vis the strongest group, if that is and would be the EPP, and we will use that possibility. Now you know that the group leaders signed an agreement that the number one can start to try to find a majority, and that we accept. I don't speak any other thing now than I spoke before, but it must be very clear that if Mr. Juncker wants to be Commission President, again and again I heard he does not want to be, but if he wants to be, he has to accept also our basic wish to change policies in Europe. Change policies in Europe dramatically away from austerity, much more for jobs in Europe, and of course also in communication between the citizens and the European institutions. So this is what I want to say tonight. All the rest we will see when we see the results and the real figures. Some changes may happen in the coming hours and days. And we will see what the result is. But let me be clear, we will negotiate any agreement from a strong position, a stronger position as Social Democrats. Thank you for your attention, and if you have questions.
Okay, thank you, Hannes SWOBODA. I would like to give the first question to a German broadcaster, ARD, Christian Feld. Okay, then if that is not the case, then I would like to give to France, AFP. Okay, any questions? There, please.
Consoli from TM News Italy. President SWOBODA, if the situation remains more or less this, do you think that there is only one majority possible, the agreement between EPP and the socialists and perhaps the liberals, or do you think it is possible to look for an alternative, more left-wing majority, perhaps looking into those groups that is not very clear where they are going to sit. For instance, the Italian Movimento 5 Stelle, which is credited with 25 probably MEPs.
Well, I must say 5 Stelle until now has not been a very constructive force, neither in Italy nor can I imagine on the European level. But let me be also very clear, there is no coalition. We will not go into a coalition with anybody, but we will have a rather free possibility to look for majorities. But let me be also clear, the Commission President and also legislative acts, legislation in the future has to have a strong majority. So we have to be responsible, but again, it depends on the content, because we want to have changes in Europe, because the message of the voters has been changed, and we cannot accept a Commission President who is not ready for change.
Okay, thank you. Is there one more question? Yes, please, Thomas May.
Thomas Mayer from Der Standard Austria. Mr. Swoboda, you told us before that your group will try to form a majority. And if I look at the results and count the Social Democrats, Greens, the leftists and the Liberals, I don't see a majority with more than 376 seats. So could you please tell us, given the result we see now, where's the majority for a Commission President, Martin Schulz?
Well, again, I have to say that we need a broader basis, as I said just before. I'm not looking for a tiny majority where we don't have a real basis for a Commission. And that means, of course, that we will have a dialogue with the EPP, and Mr. Juncker is ready to come and to invite us for the dialogue. But again and again, when I traveled during Europe, I heard Mr. Juncker doesn't want to be Commission President, he wants to be President of the Council. So he has to declare now if he really wants to be Commission President, and then he has to declare his program. And definitely I will speak with all leaders and all different political groups to see the program, because also Mr. Juncker cannot have a majority without us, unless he would break his promise to go into the right extreme and negotiate with the right extreme. So it's for him the same as for us. Therefore, I hope we get a broad majority, but it must be a majority for change and not a majority to go the same way as we did in the past years.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Swoboda.
Would you allow an additional question? Does it mean...
No time now, sorry.
No,
Sorry,
time,
okay.
but we can speak afterwards.
Maybe later on.
Thank you.